Good afternoon and thanks for joining us. I'm Holly and you're watching Kalkine TV live from our Sydney studios. This is the last job day at the last trade. First up today, the ASX 200 closed lower, dropping 9.7 points or 0.14%. Then over the last 5 days, the index has gained 3.51%, but it's still down 4.92% for the last year-to-date period. The sectors ended mixed, with 8 of 11 trading lower, although materials outshine the pack as the best performer, up 1.42% and 3.25% over the last 5 days. As for the stocks, the top gainer today was Nufarm, up a whopping 20%. Then Insignia Financials followed suit, up 3.8%, and other top performers include Amcor, Fortescue Metals and BHP Group. Then on the flip side, unfortunately, the top losers include Novonix, which plummeted over 13%, followed by Zip Polynovo, WiseTech Global and Imugene as well. Now for a look at a few stocks that interested investors today, starting with some results from the agricultural chemical company Nufarm, which held its investor day with a trading update and outlook. The optimism from this saw the company's shares flare by over 20%. Revenue for the first quarter of 2022 financial year is up 36% from the first quarter of the 2021 financial year, in fact due to good weather conditions and solid demand for crop protection. Interestingly enough, Nufarm has goals of exceeding $4 billion Australian dollars in revenue by the 2026 financial year. And then in other news, furniture retailer Nick Scali revealed a 5.4% jump in revenue to $180 million for the 6 months to the end of December. However, their earnings dropped, with net profit after tax falling 6.6% due to store closures and widespread disruptions to the supply chain. The company cautioned investors about high international shipping costs that can eat into profits across the second half of the new financial year. That is, as retailers continue to be battered by supply chain troubles. And moving on, Australian poker machine giant Aristocrat Leisure's takeover of the online gambling software outfit Playtech has collapsed after shareholders rejected the $4 billion offer. According to CEO and MD Trevor Croker, the emergence of a certain group of shareholders who built a blocking stake while refusing to engage with either Aristocrat or Playtech materially impacted the prospects for the success of the offer. There are going to be changes in Westpac's top ranks as well. More news from the bank, with further cuts to head office jobs after the bank's first quarter cash earnings knocked expectations amid an intense mortgage competition. Westpac has begun a 20% reduction in head office positions, primarily from the tech, finance and human resource areas. Then in the December quarter, the bank delivered a $1.8 billion statutory net profit. Now it's time for a short break.
Hi, I'm Sage, and get ready to take the crypto ride with me on Kalkine TV. Watch the Crypto Buzz every Tuesday and join the excitement at Kalkine TV. From Bitcoins to NFTs to Dogecoin and DeFi, we have updates about everything around these digital currencies. Understand the investing rationale and the risks involved in the space with me, Sage, on Crypto Buzz. Keep watching Kalkine TV.
Welcome back to the last trade here on Kalkine TV. Let's have a look now at the global market performance, starting with Asia and the US. Well, shares in the East were mixed today, as the sentiment seems to have been built amid persisting concerns about global growth and geopolitical tensions. The MSCI's broadest index of Asia-Pacific shares outside of Japan was up 0.3%. Japan's Nikkei 225 was down, although 1.2%, and South Korea's Kospi up 2.1%. Meanwhile, Singapore's Straits Times was up as well, 1.8%, and the Chinese and Hong Kong markets remained shut for Lunar New Year holidays. Then overnight, the three main Wall Street indices, the S&P 500, Dow Jones and Nasdaq Composite, ended a choppy session with 0.5 to 0.9% high, ending the gains for a fourth straight session. And expectations of a monetary policy seem to have helped in spurring a bearish downturn in January for the crypto assets. Today, Bitcoin's price went down below the $37,000 mark after breaching the $39,000 level for the first time in 2 weeks. Ether as well traded in red, down over 3%. Dogecoin and Shiba Inu were down as well. Then in other news, experts believe that the U.S. Senate Banking Committee hearing of President Joe Biden's 3 nominees to Federal Reserve Board might carry limited significance for the future of crypto. Industry observers will be watching the hearing due to the fact that cryptocurrency markets tend to move in response to the Federal Reserve monetary policy decisions and regulatory announcements. Well, that is a wrap for now on The Last Trade, but I hope you found the market closing commentary informative. We'll be back next time tomorrow live from Sydney. This is Holly Shields signing off for the day.